good to see ships sailing from the port again after being strike-bound.
Yes. Mr. Onedin won't be too happy, though, when he hears our news.
Very high in the water.
Why, she's only carrying a quarter of the cargo we expected.
A quarter? Why?
Ask Senor Braganza. That's all he had for us.
Well, damn Braganza. I thought him the one man that I could rely on. Just when I need that money to buy those shares.
I can make a quick turn round if you've a cargo.
Well, I can't say there's exactly competition for our services at the moment.
On account of the strike.
Chance of a cargo for South America in 2 weeks or more. We can't stand idle meantime. Anthracite and potatoes. We go to Swansea, pick up a cargo of anthracite for Jersey, and come back with the first of the new potato crop.
Very good, sir.
Oh, and I'll be sailing with you, Captain Baines. I need to drive a hard bargain if we're to make a profit on this little venture.
Mrs. Onedin unwell, sir. She was not on the quay to greet us.
Mrs. Onedin's no longer living in my house. It was her own decision.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
Now, we must economize, Captain Baines. I suggest you lay off a couple of men.
Well, we'll skeleton crew as it is, sir.
Well, I'll be sailing with you. I'll not stand idle on my own ship.
Very good, sir. About Mrs. Onedin, sir, she give me this, Lavengro. It's a very strange book. It's about gypsies. But it's improved my reading no end. But I ought to return it, sir.
Don't worry. She'll be back. So, you've come back, have you?
For some things
Things?
that belong to me.
Nothing in this house belongs to you.
Maybe not legally, but I've worked just as hard as you for our few possessions. I've scraped and saved and gone without. I've kept the accounts, paid out wages, balanced the books.
It's a wife's duty to help her husband.
You should have taken a partner, James, not a wife.
If I remember rightly, our marriage was a partnership. I was desperate for a ship and you for a husband. So, where are you living now?
You told me to leave your house. Where I go from now on is no concern of yours.
Anne, if you'd undertake to be reasonable, I might be prepared to...
Forgive me? For what, James? What was my crime?
Disloyalty, if you must have a name for it. Look, when a man's fighting for his very survival, the least he can expect is that his own wife be loyal to him. But no, you're out there feeding the strikers, the very people that are holding me up to ransom.
I must go.
And I've told you that's not necessary, provided that you promise that it won't happen again, eh?
You want me to promise that if I hear a child crying with hunger, I'll refuse to feed him because you have a quarrel with his father?
No, I want you to stop believing that God Almighty appointed you the keeper of my conscience. Stop meddling in affairs that you know nothing about.
May I go, please?
You're a woman. You won't survive alone.
You married me because I asked you, and you've never stopped reminding me of that. If I ever enter this house again, it'll be because you've asked me. Otherwise, never. As God is my witness, never.
waiting there for 25 minutes, almost half an hour.
I was working on the engine. Did you take William to the doctor?
Yes.
What did he say?
Apparently convulsions at his age are quite normal. He asked if William had fallen and hit his head.
Of course he hasn't. What's causing them?
Says he'll grow out of it.
It's not serious, then.
He did ask if anyone in the family had been subject to fits. I said not on my side. Then he asked about your family.
You didn't tell the doctor that...
No, I didn't tell him that you were not his father.
Eyes cleared up. Should be a nice, easy little trip. Jersey's very pleasant this time of the year. Mrs. Onedin used to enjoy this run.
No references?
I'm afraid not.
Not from any previous employer?
It's the first time I've ever had to seek employment, Ma'am.
I see. Well, that could, of course, seriously affect any kind of salary you could hope to command.
Yes, of course.
What could you teach them?
Reading, writing, arithmetic, needlework.
French?
No, Ma'am.
German?
I'm sorry.
Well, perhaps that is not an insuperable objection, since they are all girls. But naturally, for no experience and no foreign languages, I could not offer you more than £25 a year.
That doesn't seem very much.
It's more than generous for a residential post.
Does that mean that I'd live in with the family?
You would, of course, take your meals in the nursery. You would attend family prayers every morning, give weekly reports to Mr. Taylor concerning the children's progress and behavior. Oh, any instances of disobedience or impertinence you would report to him at once.
Oh, I think I could deal with anything of that kind without troubling their father.
I think not. The eldest girl is turned 14 and given to fits of sullenness. Mr. Taylor is well aware of this and would, I know, back up your authority in the firmest possible manner.
I see.
He doesn't believe that the caning should be administered by the governors, only that she should be present. However, I'm not sure that Mr. Taylor would want to employ a widow. All our previous governesses have been spinsters. When did your husband die, Mrs.
Ma'am, I didn't...
When did he die?
He isn't dead. I parted from him.
You are telling me that you deserted him? Forsook your marriage vows?
We disagreed over certain...
And you have the effrontery to come into my house and represent yourself as someone morally fit to be put in charge of innocent young children?
What's going on there?
It's the bosun. He says cook's fighting mad. He reckons Jock's been pinching some stuff from the galley.
Called him red-handed, did he?
No, he didn't, but he reckons it must be Jock.
Oh. Why?
Last night was half a bottle of whiskey went.
Oh, aye.
Before that, the remains of the stew we had for dinner and some biscuits. But Jock was on the dog watch. The rest of them was in the forecastle. So it looks like it's nobody else it could be.
on, my lad. Mr. Onedin will want a word with you.